And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They execute and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. And I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to...
And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with the sack.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity. You know, the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
Snap from the gun on third down. Incomplete, and he threw that one up for grabs and into traffic, and fortunate to get it back. First down here for the offense. Handoff from the gun. Works ahead. For a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make some mistakes, this crowd will pounce on you and seize momentum.
They really performed at an elite level in conference play, and that'll build your confidence as we continue through this SEC season.
This was a team that was really motivated in the offseason coming into this one, and they knew the challenge ahead of them, but they also know how talented they are. And, David, they're putting that on display each and every week here in SEC play.
And let's pump the brakes, because if they're happy with what they've done so far, they're going to have some losses. Like, this is a tough league. The SEC is not easy to navigate. They're going to have to continue to grow and get better.
How about this crowd rattling the rafters and trying to help their defense? Leaves it with the back. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
You know, it's so important for offenses to want to keep third downs manageable. The way you do that is by having success like that, running the football on first down.
And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. They've got them penned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Going to try to get it himself. How about that nice run from this junior quarterback?
I just love this guy's instincts, right? When things aren't open right away, he never panics. He just understands the situation where he is on the field, and he's so confident in his own natural ability that he has the ability to run, go get the first down, keep this drive rolling.
Looking to throw, it's Owens. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop.
Remember, zone defense, they didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
On 2nd down, wants to throw it. Got it in the middle, it's Riley. Brought to the ground, but not before getting enough for the first down.
And this offense is built around this dude. I mean, he is sensational. He's been so fun to watch, like play, pitch, and catch, spread the ball around, complete and total command of the offense, and that's why he's putting up big numbers.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Oh, looks like the offense was able to recover it. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. He wants to pass it on 2nd down. Throws to the tight end. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, you've been calling a first-rate game so far from Austin today. And it's been said football is a game of inches. And guess what? Based on the comparison between third down conversion rate today and the average yard per play, how can you argue that? I mean, the low-lying fruit is to look at some of the explosive plays we've seen and panic. But really, this game is going to come down to which team is more efficient when they have the ball and how they play when it matters most. And with that, let's get it back to our fellas at DKR.
Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They're trying to slow that rush down with the draw. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. Solid pickup of 4 on first down at 2nd and 6. Looking for a man, it's Owens. And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise, backing this defense on 3rd down. He wants to throw it. Lobs it off the back foot. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. Trying to make magic on the scramble. Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could.
Tell you what, that read game really slows you down defensively, kind of makes you play responsibility football. And when you get chunks like that on 1st down as an offense, I would continue to come back to it.
Well, another incompletion, and you can see the frustration building, but you got to give the defense credit. They came into this one knowing no one was giving them a shot because of their record, because of what their stats are on paper, but they're playing better football. They're playing with better effort, and right now they're making the most play.
Offense set on 1st down. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Getting some heat. And the defense stops him just short of the 1st down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks.
You see a lot of quarterbacks get in trouble when they start forcing. Nothing open. It's okay. I'm just going to take off and get what I can get.
Looking for room. It's Cobb. And he'll pick up the 1st down after a tough run there. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He's going to pass. Got away from trouble and got rid. Austin, Texas, home to technological and cultural advances, but for everything going on in this city, the hub is bathed in burnt orange, and it is DKR and the Texas Longhorns. As we wind our way toward the end of another college football season, one of the grand... This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. He'll do it himself. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all off.
He fires back across the field, and it's intercepted. He was trying to get that return going. Instead, he'll hand it to his offense at the 38.
Nice play by the DB. Most people say offenses have the advantage, right? They know where they're going. They have the footing underneath them. Defensive guys, you still got to guess. You might be a little bit more cautious. No, sir, this defensive back does a great job breaking on the football, going up and making the INT.
And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last week. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. Feeling some heat. Caught over the middle. It's Hoover. And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. This offense has a little room and a fresh set of downs at the 23. The Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. He'll pull it on the read. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
The offense thought they had a good look to run that play into with the QB, but here's just an example of a defender winning his one-on-one battle and making a tremendous play. Great effort by them.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Hand off from the shotgun. What a nifty run there to pick up the 1st down. And the Tigers are on the move. Going up top on 1st down. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Cobb. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Handoff to the lone back. Still on his feet at the 45. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
They'll start this one from the 29 on 1st down. Looking to throw, it's Owens. Quickly to the tight end. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the 1st down. Auburn doing business in the red zone. To the ground with the back. And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the 1st quarter. On the run, it's Cobb. They'll make the stop behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to set. In the gun, looking to throw on third down. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
How about the defense get...
A first down for the offense. He's looking to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. They come to the line facing third and long from the 25. Back to throw, it's Owens. Finds his big tight end. Look, you can't take away everything, right? So you give them that and rally and... Line gets set, first down. He wants to throw. They're bringing heat. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback.
But for this defense, finally, you're seeing pressure on the quarterback. They're outside the top 50 in sacks per game. They've been waiting to find some more consistent pressure to help them win games, and they're getting it in this game now. 3 sacks on the day. They're just simply winning and doing a better job executing up front at the point of attack.
Faced with a third and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. Pulls it in. Knocked down after a short game, but enough to move those chains. Here comes Auburn to the line on 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. He's taking the shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. On 2nd down, he'll fire. Grabbed in the middle, it's Thompson. Found a bunch of room and got it to the 44-yard line.
Late in the year, this guy is square in the middle of the Heisman Trophy discussion because of his performance. He throws a nice completion there for a first down, but it's been week in, week out. Big moments. He's led this team to a ton of wins. He is their best player.
A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. Grabbed behind the line. It's Cobb. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. This has the makings of a good drive. The 7th play brings up a 3rd and 4. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. He's looking on the right side. Got it! They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it 1st and goal. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. And here's a fumble way behind the line. Oh, the offense looks as if they fell on the fumble, and they'll keep the ball. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and that one is picked up in the end zone.